Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until the sequel Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which today is in 159 days. We finally made it. The next 10-day barrier has been broken. Game is coming closer. Today I want to talk about something that I've recently been discussing on my stream, and it's something that I feel like is important for us to think about, especially all of the people, just like me, who are very obsessed with Tears of the Kingdom and they can't wait, because maybe just like me, this is your favorite game, and obviously you want the sequel as soon as possible. And I want to discuss, can Tears of the Kingdom be a better game than Breath of the Wild? And I've discussed this on stream, like I said before, and I think after thinking about it, my answer is basically yes and no. And I kind of wanted to explain why I feel that way. Also, I'm actually impressed that I did this throw first try in my speedruns recently. I've been having a hard time making this throw work like that, but I'll take it. So, why do I think Tears of the Kingdom would not be a better game than Breath of the Wild? Obviously, I'm excited for the game and I want it to be as good as possible, but I'm trying to kind of control my expectations. And one thing that I'm sure of is that Tears of the Kingdom will not be a groundbreaking game in the sense that it's not gonna be like Breath of the Wild. What I mean by that is, like, when you hear like game reviewers or people that make video game essays talk about Breath of the Wild, they always kind of use it as this big game, the game that defined the genre of open world games, that gives you absolute freedom, that doesn't really hold your hand too much other than on the Great Plateau. You can go and do whatever you want. And so many games have basically tried to step into this game's footsteps, from the Ghost of Tsushima to even games like Genshin Impact, even though, yeah, it is, while it's visually very similar, it's very different. In terms of gameplay, obviously you do completely different things. But so many games have tried to follow the Breath of the Wild formula because of how successful it was. This game broke so many traditions in terms of the normal Zelda formula and kind of forged its own path. And this is why this game is kind of uncontested one of the biggest games this century, probably. It's probably up there with the big ones Nintendo has ever made, like Mario 64 for being kind of like a groundbreaking 3D game, and even Ocarina of Time to an extent. I think it really stands as a game like that on its own, and that will not happen again with Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel to this game. We've already seen visually it's quite different. It even plays, at least partially, in the same world that we've already explored. So I think there is no way that people will talk about Tears of the Kingdom in the future the way they talked about Breath of the Wild, of it being like a genre-defining, completely, like, I mean, life-changing might be a bit extreme, but like, yeah, genre-changing video game. And in that extent, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to deliver the same way. I don't think people will be afterwards like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom did it again. It completely changed the formula. It changed everything. I don't think that's possible, but, and this is important, I also don't actually want that. So I also now want to briefly talk about why Tears of the Kingdom could be a better game than Breath of the Wild, while not being as big of a game overall. So what I would want from Tears of the Kingdom is that after I'm done playing it, and I get the choice between playing Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, I would likely want to choose Tears of the Kingdom, just because of maybe how much it improved over this game. It made an even better version of Breath of the Wild, one where we may have maybe even more freedom, a better story. Let me give you a simple example. Recently, God of War and God of War Ragnarok. Some people at first seem to be kind of upset, or seem to give the game some flack for looking just like the first God of War, or maybe only slightly different, using similar mechanics. But I don't really understand why that's a bad thing. I don't really want Tears of the Kingdom to play completely different in this game, because I want more of this game. I want a better version of this game. I want it to improve on the flaws that Breath of the Wild had, if that makes any sense. I want them to maybe bring dungeons back, like many people wanted for this game. I want them to maybe give us some permanent items, maybe give us definitely a better story. I think the story in this game is good, in Breath of the Wild. I enjoyed it, but I think all the story there is basically the memories, right? Like, yes, there's some world building. You get to explore the world and find out something through that, and item descriptions, etc. Kind of a la Dark Souls. But it didn't really feel, I didn't really feel very invested into it. Again, without saying any spoilers, I think in the recent God of War game, it was much different because it seemed like, oh yeah, I want to progress the story. I have no idea what's going to happen next. Where in this game, yeah, you might reveal something that happened in the past, but you kind of already know what happened, right? Hyrule is already destroyed. There's probably not going to be, at least I never felt like it when I was playing this game, that there's going to be an event that changes everything and suddenly Hyrule is going to go back to normal. I know Age of Calamity kind of tried to go that route, but I personally really didn't like it that much. So I think Tears of the Kingdom might be able to make me enjoy this universe even more than Breath of the Wild. I might want to choose playing Tears of the Kingdom over this game because of its story or because of its even expanded overworld. But I just don't think we can say, oh, this will be just like Breath of the Wild again. It will be a completely life-changing game. I don't think you can really expect that. But if you really like this game and you want more, I think there's every reason to be excited for that game. It's been in development for so long now. We've seen some very impressive shots, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I think Tears of the Kingdom right now is looking to be exactly the game that I wanted. If you go all the way back to my first reaction to Tears of the Kingdom, this was in 2019. I had only just started to play Breath of the Wild as a speedrunner, maybe for like 2 or 3 months, and the Nintendo Direct at E3 happened, and I had already previously said that I wish there was another game like Breath of the Wild where they use the same model of Zelda, but it's a little bit more like dark and edgy, like Twilight Princess. As you play, the story is a little bit more intense. And when I saw the first teaser, which was very reminiscent of Twilight Princess, which was until Breath of the Wild my favorite Zelda game, I was already sold. This is exactly what I wanted. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a rusty shield here somewhere that I'm trying to find right now. In 100% speedruns we already have... Oh, it might be like around the corner here. In 100% speedruns we already have the rusty shield when we get to this point. I just want to get this Korok seed real quick. But yeah, basically, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be as big of a game as this game was, in the sense that it literally changed the genre and defined what people expect from open world games. But I do think that there's a pretty good chance that it might become a better version of Breath of the Wild, and then for some, a better game. I really do think, at the end of the day, that I know I keep saying I think, because at the end of the day we don't know anything. For Breath of the Wild fans, which there's many, Tears of the Kingdom is probably going to be the better game. But for the average video gamer, it might just feel more like a big DLC, which is what a lot of people are scared about. I am not. I wouldn't mind, honestly, if there was another big DLC for this game, just because I like playing it so much and I want to experience more story, experience different mechanics. So I'm still looking forward to it, but I'm also trying to basically check my expectations. I'm not expecting Tears of the Kingdom to do what Breath of the Wild did, in the sense that everybody was talking about, this is a new video game, blah blah blah. I do think it's interesting though, by the way, I'm not sure if you agree with me, how I feel like when Breath of the Wild first came out, the reactions were kind of mixed. Like, it was considered a masterpiece by many, but I think especially Zelda fans, and even non-Zelda fans, but especially Zelda fans, which is weird, were at first kind of weirded out by how much they changed the formula, but over time they grew on it. They grew to like it. I think, honestly, in my opinion, Breath of the Wild's biggest year was 2019. It wasn't even the original release year, even though people really liked it, the game got great reviews. But I think in 2019, when people kind of got introduced to more speedrun mechanics and... sorry, 2019 is not even the right year. 2019 and 2020. When people got introduced to the challenge runs and speedrun mechanics, the game had like a huge renaissance. That's the word I used in a video I made before. Where people realized how many options there are in this game when it comes to speedrunning and challenge running. And a lot of people got into it for the first time or revisited it. I mean, there's still people playing this game for the first time just now. And I think that's not going to happen again. I don't think the game is going to have such... Like, Tears of the Kingdom is going to have such a big impact than Breath of the Wild had. But I think it can be a better game than Breath of the Wild in the sense that people that already enjoyed this game will have even more fun. That's my very convoluted summary of thoughts. I had a lot of people in my chat say, oh yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is going to be better than Breath of the Wild in every single way. I expect them, after developing it for 6 years, that it's going to be a completely groundbreaking technology, world-changing game. I honestly don't think so. But I still think I'm going to have a blast. And I think that if you like this game, you're going to have a blast as well. And might even afterwards say, wow, this was even better than Breath of the Wild for me. But I don't think it's going to have the same impact. That's the point that I wanted to get across. Let me know if you have similar thoughts. Do you expect Tears of the Kingdom to be an even more groundbreaking game than this one? Do you disagree with me in that regard? Or do you think I agree with you and that's completely fine to me? I think I've had a lot of people say that, especially fans of this game. Also, I wanted to get one more Korok seed. How's our percentage looking? Okay, we did hit 17%. That's what I wanted. I think there's a Korok around the corner here that I still wanted to get to call this episode successful. Okay, yeah, it's basically over here. Let's see if I can wind bomb up here. Ah, of course. We had our bombs still sit out there. But yeah, anyway. Let me know if you agree. Disagree. Tomorrow I will be back with another episode of 100%ing this game, as I'm struggling to make my way up to this Korok seed. We're gonna land in the castle over here real quick and then go back to finally get it. And then I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. You can just watch me get this Korok seed now. I kinda don't have anything to say anymore. Why are you still here? I don't know. I appreciate it. Apparently I cannot make it up to this Korok seed. That's not very good. It looks like we're gonna be drowning now, to then spawn back up on the ledge, and then I will surely get this windball. Yeah, any minute now. Okay, this is the one. This is kind of awkward. Watch this. No! Okay. The bomb was sitting out in the ocean, so I couldn't actually wind bomb, but this time I'll make it. Okay, I actually made it. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.